Today, let's dive into the fascinating world of divination rods, those simple L-shaped tools that have captured the imagination of both skeptics and believers for generations. At first glance, they might look like nothing more than bent pieces of metal, but their story is far more intriguing. These rods are often crafted from copper or brass, chosen for their conductivity and traditional associations with energy. Paranormal investigators rely on them as a staple in their toolkit, using them in dimly lit rooms or abandoned buildings where the air is thick with mystery. You might have seen these rods in action on popular ghost hunting TV shows, or maybe you've heard friends recount stories of rods moving on their own, seemingly guided by invisible hands. The method is simple. People hold one rod in each hand, keeping their grip loose, and slowly walk through a space. They watch closely for the rods to cross, swing open, or point in a particular direction, each movement interpreted as a possible sign or answer. These subtle movements are believed by many to be a form of communication, almost like an antenna picking up on unseen energies, spirits, or even the emotional residue left behind in a haunted location. The practice, known as dowsing, actually dates back centuries. Long before ghost hunting, people used rods to search for underground water, precious minerals, or even lost objects. It was a tool for survival, not just for the supernatural. Over time, as beliefs and interests shifted, the purpose of these rods evolved. What once helped farmers and miners now helps investigators and curious minds reach out to the spirit world, seeking answers from the unknown. Today, many investigators favor divination rods because they're low-tech, lightweight, and easy to carry. Unlike electronic gadgets, they don't require batteries or complicated instructions, just a steady hand and a willingness to believe in possibilities. There's something almost meditative about using them. With no screens or beeping devices, the experience feels personal and direct, inviting the user to tune in to their surroundings and intuition. Sometimes the responses are so unexpected that even seasoned investigators are left surprised, questioning what forces might be at play. In the end, these humble rods remind us that some of the greatest mysteries can be explored with the simplest of tools, inviting us to keep our minds open to the unknown. Dowsing is an ancient practice, with roots stretching back thousands of years to cultures like Egypt and China, where the mysteries of the earth and the unseen world fascinated early civilizations. These societies believed that the land itself held secrets, and that certain individuals could tap into hidden energies to reveal what was concealed beneath the surface. In these early days, people used simple forked branches, often cut from special trees, to search for water, precious minerals, or even lost objects. The act of dowsing was both practical and mystical, blending daily survival with a sense of wonder. As centuries passed, the tradition spread to medieval Europe, where dowsers became highly valued for their ability to locate valuable ore deposits. In mining communities, their skills were sometimes seen as essential, and their reputation grew as stories of their successes circulated. Historical illustrations from this era show dowsers holding Y-shaped or L-shaped rods, their posture and concentration captured in old woodcuts and manuscripts. These images remind us that the fascination with dowsing is not new, but part of a much older story. The church, however, sometimes viewed dowsing with suspicion, unsure if it was a natural gift or something supernatural. Debates raged over whether dowsers were tapping into divine guidance or forbidden forces, and at times practitioners faced scrutiny or even persecution. Over time, the tools of dowsing evolved. Wooden branches gradually gave way to metal rods, which were believed to be more sensitive to subtle energies and vibrations. This shift reflected both advances in technology and changing beliefs about how dowsing worked. The idea of using simple tools to detect the invisible has been passed down for generations, handed from parent to child and shared among communities. Each generation added its own interpretations and techniques, keeping the tradition alive. Today's L-rods are a modern twist on this old tradition, crafted from sleek metals and often used in new contexts, such as paranormal investigations or energy work. When we use them in paranormal investigations, we're not just experimenting with a tool, we're connecting with a lineage of seekers who, for centuries, have used rods to explore the unknown and to search for answers beyond the ordinary. This rich history adds depth and meaning to our work, linking us to centuries of curiosity, ingenuity, and the timeless human desire to uncover what lies hidden. Dowsing is more than a method. It's a living tradition, a bridge between past and present, and a testament to our enduring quest to reveal the mysteries that surround us. Paranormal investigators use divination rods as one of their most trusted tools during ghost hunts and spirit communication sessions. The reason is simple. Many believe that spirits or unseen energies can influence the movement of these rods, turning them into a direct line for communication with the other side. The rods are especially useful for yes or no questions. When the rods cross, it's interpreted as a yes, and when they open, it means no. This clear system makes it easy to interpret responses, even in tense or uncertain situations. This creates a basic dialogue between investigator and spirit, and when the responses are consistent, it can feel like a genuine two-way connection is being made. Their simplicity is a major strength. Unlike high-tech gadgets that can malfunction or give false readings, rods have very few points of failure. They don't require batteries, apps, or complicated setups, making them reliable in almost any environment. Anyone can use them. No special training or technical knowledge is required. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or a curious beginner, you can pick up a pair of rods and start exploring the unknown right away. Personal experiences with rods often build trust in their effectiveness. Many investigators recall their first time using rods and the surprise they felt when the rods moved in response to their questions. Many investigators report feeling subtle shifts in energy or atmosphere just before the rods move, making the experience feel both profound and deeply personal. These moments can be powerful, leaving a lasting impression. The rods become an extension of our senses, helping us tune into the environment and its unseen inhabitants. They allow us to explore spaces in a new way, searching for answers that might otherwise go unnoticed. While we strive to remain objective, it's hard to ignore when rod responses align with historical facts or local legends. These moments can be incredibly compelling, adding another layer of intrigue to our investigations. For many, these experiences suggest there's more to divination rods than meets the eye, and that they may truly be a bridge between our world and the unknown. How do spirits move the rods? One theory is that spirits manipulate energy, subtly influencing the rods made of conductive metals. Another idea is that spirits interact with our bioelectrical fields, triggering tiny unconscious muscle movements, known as ideomotor responses. In this view, the investigator acts as a conduit, with the spirit guiding the rods through subtle influence. Some believe rods pick up on electromagnetic fluctuations linked to paranormal activity. When rods respond to direct questions or point to significant locations, it feels meaningful. These moments reinforce the belief that spirits can communicate through divination rods. Ready to try divination rods? Start with a balanced pair, copper, brass, or steel. L rods work well. Hold one in each hand, the short end in your fist, the long end pointing forward, parallel to the ground. Find a grip that's gentle but steady. Too tight or too loose affects movement. Keep your arms relaxed and rods level. Before starting, take a moment to center yourself. Some say a prayer or set an intention for clear, respectful communication. Clear your mind of expectations. Stay calm and observant. Calibrate the rods by intentionally thinking yes or no to see how they respond to your subtle cues. This helps you recognize your own baseline movements. Once comfortable, you're ready to explore and ask questions. Preparation is key to meaningful results. To communicate, ask clear yes or no questions. Avoid ambiguity. Establish what movements mean yes or no, and state it aloud for any spirit present. Test the system with a control question you know the answer to. You can also ask the rods to point toward a spirit or area of interest, moving slowly and watching for directional shifts. Always move deliberately to minimize your own influence. Be respectful. Thank any spirit for communicating, even if responses are faint. Announce when you're ending the session. Keep a log or record your session to spot patterns or correlations. Consistency in responses builds confidence in the communication. Interpreting rod movements is crucial. Crossing usually means yes, opening means no, but there's nuance. Strong, decisive movements may indicate a powerful presence. Hesitant ones, a weaker response. If only one rod moves, it might point to something specific. Pay attention to how and when the rods move, smooth, jerky, quick, or delayed. Sometimes rods bounce or spin, which could have unique meanings. Ask clear questions to clarify unusual movements. Always consider environmental factors and your own body. Practice helps you distinguish genuine responses from natural causes. The more you use the rods, the better you'll interpret their language. Science explains rod movement with the ideomotor effect, tiny unconscious muscle movements driven by expectation. The rods are sensitive, so even slight shifts in your hands can make them move. Experiments show dowsers' success rates drop when they don't know the target's location, supporting the psychological explanation. Skeptics argue it's all subconscious action, not spirits. Yet some investigators report rods revealing unknown information or matching results across different users. While the ideomotor effect is real, many believe there are moments science can't fully explain. The mystery keeps us open to other possibilities. Let me share a story from a Victorian home investigation. We struggled to communicate until I used copper rods and asked, "Is the lady of the house present?" The rods crossed immediately. My colleague asked about a favorite locket, and the rods crossed again. When I asked to be shown its location, the rods pointed to a specific vanity drawer. Inside, we found a velvet box. The family later confirmed it once held the missing locket. None of us knew about the drawer or box beforehand. Was it coincidence or unconscious movement? Maybe, but the specificity and later confirmation were compelling. Experiences like this keep us using rods, searching for whispers from the other side. Sometimes the simplest tools yield the most intriguing results. Divination rods remain popular because they're simple, accessible, and offer a direct way to seek the unknown. Personal experiences, especially when rods reveal unknown facts, build trust in the tool. Using rods feels intuitive, connecting us to an ancient tradition of seeking answers. They complement scientific methods, adding another layer to our investigations. The enduring appeal lies in their mystery and the potential for real interaction with the paranormal. Sometimes, the simplest tools provide the most profound moments. As long as we seek answers, rods will remain a cherished part of the investigator's toolkit.